Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
Hello, Byron. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Last time I talked to you guys about interview etiquette, well, today we're going to go over another trait that is essential to success. I have 5 tips that will make your everyday life just a little bit easier. Step number 1, be organized. Use time-saving tools such as appointment calendars.
Okay, so tell me how you can use appointment calendars to be successful in time management.
Well, I would use a calendar for more of a long-term to-do list. In the professional world, you might have a meeting this week. You might have a follow-up this week. You just never know.
Right.
Another thing I would use would be a to-do list, and this is more for your everyday life. Daily base type of things. For example, clean apartment, study for exam, go to the gym. These are everyday things. So I would decipher between the two, whichever fits your lifestyle the most.
Okay, are there any other tools that could help someone be successful?
Yeah, you can use email, answering machines, file folders. These are all things that will keep you organized. Have an organized workplace. Don't waste time constantly looking for your work. Use your appointment calendar for everything, including listing study time. And use a to-do list for both long and short-term goals. Step number 2, schedule it and it will happen. Determine how long your task will take. Do this before agreeing to take on the task. Consider whether any activities can be combined and determine if big tasks can be broken down into smaller tasks that may be easier to complete. Step number 3, prioritize. Use an ABC rating system for items on your to-do list. For example, you have A. A is the most important. This is what you have to get done right away. You have a science exam, B, basketball practice, and C, drama club. I'm not really in a drama club, so save the jokes, guys. From there, you can set goals for both the short term and long term, as I mentioned earlier. Look at all of your to-dos to gauge the time requirement and whether additional resources will be needed, because you don't want to overload yourself. If yes, schedule time to obtain those resources. Don't postpone the small tasks. A sense of accomplishment is good, and overlooked small tasks can become larger tasks. Step number 4, avoid overload. Include time for rest, relaxation, sleep, eating, exercise, and socializing in your schedule. As a student athlete, you don't have much free time. You have to be able to get everything in the day that you need to get in and still have time to relax, because you can wear yourself out.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's that?
Do you ever find yourself sacrificing your time, to study? I mean, that's the whole purpose. You're there to study. You're there to make sure you have completed all of your assignments, because the huge goal is to graduate. But do you ever find yourself maybe sacrificing?
Absolutely. You do sacrifice, social time. You don't get to spend as much time with your friends. School comes first. That's pretty much the bottom line, and then sports comes second. Take short breaks during study and work periods. Don't put everything off until the last minute. For example, don't cram for exams. Don't procrastinate. College kids have a huge problem with this. When I was a freshman, I used to do a 10-page paper 6 hours before it was due, and that's just not smart. Learn to say no when it's appropriate and negotiate better deadlines. Remember that it's impossible to get everything done at once. Also remember that odds are good that 20% of your thoughts, conversations, and activities produce 80% of your results. Last but not least, start the day off right. Take the first 30 minutes of every day to plan your day. Don't start your day until you complete your time plan. The most important time of your day is the time you schedule your scheduled time. Any questions?
Could you repeat all of the tools necessary to have a better time management?
Well, yeah, I can summarize the steps. Step number 1, and this is probably the most important of all steps. You have to be organized. Organization is key in anything, and especially in business. With step number 2, like I said, plan ahead. Planning ahead is very key, especially for a student athlete like myself. If I have a game tomorrow and I have an exam the day after my game, I need to study the day before my game so I'm prepared. So you just gotta be on top of it. Prioritize. Grades come first, and then if you're a student athlete, of course, sports, social time, you'll have to sacrifice. It's just as simple as that. Avoid overload. Don't take on tasks that you can't do by yourself. And step number 5, start the day off right. You want to set a tone for your day and go from there.
Which tool do you find best helps you, which tool do you use the most in helping you to do your time management regimen better?
Well, I don't use particularly a to-do list, but I do use, a schedule, for my daily life with my iPhone. I set up times that I need to have stuff done by and go from there, and it's pretty effective.
Okay, how do you set it up? Is it like an alarm that you might set up as a reminder for what you have to do in the next hour? Yeah. How does it work?
I might set 7, 8 reminders throughout the day, because it's easy to forget with so much going on. And once it goes off, I know I need to get to it and get it done. And it works. It's pretty effective.
Okay.
All right, if that's all the questions, I thank you guys for listening, and I hope these tips help you, and have a nice night.